Much to the panel. We're going to move to some closing remarks, first from Nello and Marencia. Nello is the Director of Human Capital and Stakeholder Relations at BIC, the Bio-Based Industries Consortium. After a career in the chemicals industry, Nello established himself as an independent consultant in the chemical, biochemical, and educational fields. From April 2015 through May 2022, he fulfilled the responsibilities of Director Programming for BIC in Brussels. And since the 1st of June 2002, he is the Director of Human Capital and Stakeholder Relations at BIC. Nello studied chemical engineering at Delft University of Technology in the Netherlands, and during his career, he was seconded to Plastics Europe in Brussels as Communications and Public Affairs Director, and later to the Dutch Chemical Industry Association in The Hague as Education and Innovation Manager and Secretary of the Dutch Chemistry Board. In the last function, he left the bio-based economy activities for the chemical industry in the Netherlands. So, Nello, I'll hand over to you.
I prefer to have a standstill.
Yes, sure.
I speak like I speak with hands and body. It works. But I'll stand here because I made a few notes. You know, I love this project. I think this is an excellent project that apply the objectives of Horizons Europe Cluster 6, as well as those of BIC and a joint undertaking to reduce the environmental degradation, to halt and reverse the decline of biodiversity of land, inland waters and sea, and better manage natural resources through transformative changes of the economy and society in urban and rural areas. You met all these, at least you made a serious effort to meet all of those. And I believe that you succeeded quite a bit in these. This is how BIC works. We break down the Chinese walls that have been separating traditional industry actors in the past. You know, I give this example all the time. I work in the chemical industry for 30 years, and it was not until the last 4 or 5 years that I met someone from agriculture, then someone from forest, then someone from marine. Before that, I never, by way of speaking, didn't even know these people existed, by way of speaking. But we never had any industrial and any business interaction with the other sectors. And this is what we are doing, what we need to do in a bio-based sector, because the bio-based sector is one that brings together all of them. And BIC is the first, if not still the only association in Europe, if not the world, that has members from chemistry, forest, agriculture, marine aquatic, waste management, market actors. You will not find an association like that in Europe. We are out to create this new homogeneous industry economic landscape for sustainable and circular economy. And we're striving, by doing so, we're striving to get supportive legislative frameworks to support the new development and also to get access to more and diverse financial instruments. The hurdles that you have been discussing here about showing, you know, this almost Babylonic mix of languages, we have had them also in BIC. When we started bringing these people together, we hardly knew how to communicate with each other. And now it's like bees all over the place. We know how to find each other. The other thing is that it was stated before, we are pushing people to do things and knowing that we must learn by mistakes, by failures. We must more in Europe accept that something that didn't work is not a failure. It doesn't mean you have failed in your life or your business, you know, perspective. No, you should learn from failures and mistakes. So we are pushing these and hoping that they will indeed act as front runners and break the ice and act as a magnet for others to follow. So I asked the question earlier, what next? And from my side, I'm thinking about trying to do the same thing as we've been doing with joint undertaking projects in the BBI or in the CBEJU, and that is to try and find a sequel to build on the learnings and the results of a previous one. Think of the tandem that we created between Pilots for You and Co-Pilot. The Pilots for You, we went out, the topic that I wrote in the BBI, to create an infrastructure of testing and and upscaling facilities, especially for SMEs. This is now continuing under co-pilot, a new project under CBEJU that started last year. Think about the combination of BioBack and BioSpark, I mentioned it earlier. We want to create an infrastructure across Europe where industry and education institutions can find each other, interact with each other, so that we can communicate as industry what it is that we need in terms of skills and competencies for the future. And the education institutions can tell us how much they can realize. And if not, what can we do to enable the industry to exist in the future? For this project, the thought that I have is that maybe we should think in terms of a partnership between the humanitarian sector and the bio-based industry. Maybe humanitarian sector represented by somebody that the sector should nominate. I don't know. You see, this is, we don't know the sector. And the bio-based sector could be represented by BIC or by one of the members of BIC who has been very active in this project, one or two. As you know, at this moment, we are discussing the new, the Commission, discussing the new framework program. I will commit myself to bring forward to BIC and to the Commission to take within the programming of the joint undertaking the humanitarian sector, because it's not there. As the same thing we did when we started out BIC and the BBIJU, the marine and aquatic sector wasn't there. We brought them in. We brought in the sector of waste managers. We brought in in technology sector, we brought in all sorts of technology, steering them towards combining and working together. We brought in brand owners to make the bridge to the market. We brought in consumers to get us more insight into what the market works. And we started to focus in topics that we wrote. We started to focus, to push actors, to push consortia in this direction. We focused on market sectors, for example, on packaging, textile, transportation. And therefore, bringing in this sector of humanitarian will have a lot of benefits. It will take big members out of this uncomfortable situation that they are in now. You notice it. You approach them, they say beginning, yeah. When you approach them again, they say, well, I don't know. Why? Because we don't know the sector. We don't know the actors. We don't know the processes. And, you know, if there's one thing that people, companies are good in, is resisting change. We want to change. That's the last thing we want to do. Why move out of our comfort zone if we do it well today, you know? So we must, the only way to move is to get closer. So if this sector is there, it not only establishes the basis for us to write topics in the program that will result in call for proposals, but it will open the door for both direction membership. Both we can become closer and know actors, and actors in the humanitarian sector can become members of BIC. This is the best way to network and get each other. As we all know, networking is the biggest force moving forward in anything that you want to change. So for me, that I see as a way forward. It would be a waste. I hate the word. And we deal with waste. But it truly would be a waste if this project stops here. It shouldn't. So the least we should continue to do is this consortium to continue to communicate about it. Use all the channels. I can use the channels of BIC to continue to use our newsletters and our networking and our social media to talk about this project, because let's keep it alive. And let's start about thinking, and I will commit myself to bring this topic into the programming of the Commission. Whether I will succeed, I'm not sure, but I'm going to fight as hell. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Nello. And it seconds the point from my opening speech that I don't want to finish in June, so I don't know what to do now. But I will speak with you in a moment, but I just wanted to give a short floor to Giulio. You wanted to say about the reporting part, and then we can go to close.
Some boring administration, sorry, on my side. No, well, first you won't finish in June because you will have at least 3 months of work afterwards with us to report. just wanted to tell you, because some people were wondering, for the final review, we will go online only, so remote, not even online, let's say. So there won't be any meeting. So we will process all your documentation, and in case we have questions, we will do like we did last time. We will send questions to Andrea, and then he will be asked to clarify, okay? And since this is the final reporting, and this links to all the discussion we had today, I would say it's very important that you focus on the reporting on the lessons learned out of these 30 months of work together you did. So, all the results are in the deliverables. But when you have to report by work package, that really focus on the lessons learned. And I think this is also very useful to build potential follow-up, because we are also interested to see what are the challenges ahead, for example, that you identify. Several came up today, the scale up thing, continue this cooperation between different actors. So I highlight all these things in the reporting because that's very important. And when you report, also bear in mind that you have to report also to policymakers, because that's informing policymaking is one of the priority for us now. So bear this in mind. And last on these, let me pass also the greetings to you, the two policy officers in DG Research that I think you met online at the kickoff, Tomasz Kalikowski and Silvia Montagliati. They were the two that were behind this call. Unfortunately, they could not join today due to other meetings, but I will report to them. Okay. So, well, good luck for this final stage, and thanks again for this very interesting meeting today.
Thank you very much, Giulio. And also thank you very much, Nello, for the closing speech. I took notes. We will think of really making it practical towards the end. So really, really big thanks for all the support. So we are about to make the closing of the final event of Bio. I had a speech and then I'm like, no, I will make it a little bit normal, not so official. So first of all, thank you for all the partners once again. I didn't expect today it will go so smooth, and I was thinking we have 2 panel discussions, and sometimes when you go to these final events you don't have this. And I kind of tested it with you, and for me, it really worked out well. And I have a suspicion that you also enjoyed it, that this was a dialogue, and you could share what were your impressions, what were your experiences. Because I know that this hasn't been the easiest journey in some cases. I remember when we had the kickoff meeting and some of you asked, where are the data? And then I was thinking for a few months, where will be the data? And look, so we made it. I really would like to encourage everyone in the room and also online to have a look at all the work, take home some of the reports that are printed. Look at also the databases that we have on Zenodo. I think it was also a very big work of Abby and Pin and Path teams to put them together, because they are open access. We don't want anyone after us to kind of reinvent the wheel that we started in the project. So the database for the solid waste management in parts of the 2 countries are available online. Also, the life cycle costing tool is available already, and different observation tools, how to run the key informant interviews, right? And focus group discussions when you're looking at the solid waste management in the humanitarian settings. So please don't forget about those. For people online, I also want to thank you for bearing with us. To be online all day, it's very hard, and I still see quite a lot of people online, so thank you for that. And yes, I also would like to thank you, Bio East Hub, for organizing today's day. It was really great. Thank you very much also for all that you have done for us. So we feel so good, and we have, I don't know, the most beautiful view on the Charles Bridge there can be in Prague. And I want to also thank Abby, who helped so much in the project. Today you hear her introducing the sessions, but she's the one who put this final event together. So thank you very much, everyone. And I think we heard so many conclusions and remarks in all the sessions, so I don't want to repeat. I just really want to express the gratitude also for Magdalena, our keynote speaker, Dimitris, our ethics officer. I know I keep repeating these names, but they help so much, everyone. So thank you for this. And Mario, you want to say something? Thank you. Thank you very much. Great. And I would just like to ask everyone in the room so we can take a group picture together so we have a nice memory for this. And have a nice rest of the day and also safe travels home. So thank you.